Greetings, beloved light warriors. It's Saratoga, and this is our weekly focus card reading for the week beginning September the 6th through September the 12th, 2021. And if you're new to my channel, this is something I do every Sunday so we can reset our focus and our energy for the coming week ahead, and then I do my on-camera videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay, let's get into this week's reading. So as you can see, this week we have 3 cards, and these are absolutely amazing. This sequence, this is the order that I pulled these cards in, and it really kind of blew my mind. So let's take a look at each of the cards first. The first card says, answering the call. The time is now. The second card says, gates of triumph. Success expands in your life. And the third card says, reaching your destination, your light is shining brightly. Okay, so this is a very clear and quite amazing sequence, I must say. So I want to first look at the first card that says, answering the call, the time is now. This is a very powerful energy coming from this card, and the message is clear and it's strong. And the message is, and I really feel like this sequence is very much connected to those of us who are light workers, starseeds, way showers, and awakening humans. But most particularly starseeds and light workers and way showers. So answering the call, the time is now. The message is this: there's no more waiting. Whatever you've been waiting for to be who you really are, whatever you've been waiting for to see some kind of a sign, that this is, are we really ascending, or anything at all, whatever you've been waiting for, the message is very, very strong. There's no more waiting. You have arrived. You are here. You have come to this planet with a purpose, with a mission, with an intention, and now is the time to be that person and to answer the call for why you came here. And I also feel it's very important to point out that answering the call is not something that you need to look for in terms of an outer sign. In other words, you don't need to look in the outer world like, where's my sign? I need a sign to know for sure whatever it is. The sign is here. The sign is now. There is no more time to wait. So answering the call, whatever that means to you, I suspect probably many of you know what that means. I'm sure it's deeply personal to you. But it's not even, I don't even get the feeling of urgency with this. I get the feeling of just, it's now. Now is the time. We're here. We've arrived. It's time for us to answer the call. Okay, so as you can see, the woman in this first card, I just want to look at the image. She's not dressed in earthly clothes. This is not like a style you see on Earth. This is more a style you might see for a goddess or a higher being of intelligence. So, which is who we really are, right? So she's going through the gateway, and you can see that she's hurrying. She's not hesitating. She's going like, now. I'm doing this now. There's no more hesitation. There's no doubt. There's clarity. There's certainty. And she's going, and you can see in the distance there is a pathway. And I also want to point out, in each one of these 3 cards, we see that common pathway. So this is a very clear sequence of following a certain path. So let's move on. I'll probably come back to this again, but let's move on to the second card. The second card says, gates of triumph. Success expands in your life. Now, this is another gateway. I think this really refers to a direction and holding a vision of truth, the truth that lies in our heart. The gates of triumph exist within you. The gates of triumph are within your heart. That's where you're going to find those gates of triumph. You're not going to find them in this outer world. Those gates are within. Your heart is a portal. It's a gateway to the entire cosmos, to the universe, to the most powerful light and forces of love that there are. So your heart is a portal to all of that wisdom, that power, and that beauty, and that love. So when we go to I feel that, how can I say this? I feel that the message with this middle card is very much about the gates of triumph is a very specific gateway, okay? And gates, it's plural, right? So I guess you could say there are two gates opening, but I also feel that it indicates a process going through multiple gates of awakening, multiple gates of realization, of waking up, of clarity, of things getting brighter and brighter. And as you can see, this pathway is leading to the light, right? So as we follow those true gates, the gates that lead to triumph, we will experience more and more success in our lives. Now, I want to point out something else very, very interesting about the phrase, success expands in your life. What we need to do, we can't see if we're going to be who we really are at a cosmic level, we have to understand what it means when we refer to our life. There are two ways to refer to your life. There is your earthly life with your physical body, but then there is your much bigger true life, which is the infinite life of the infinite self that is who you truly are. So success expands in your life also refers to you fulfilling your purpose for why you came here. That's the kind of success that we're talking about, because the aim in all of this is ascension, right? So let's look at the third card now, which says, reaching your destination, your light is shining brightly. So now we're still on that same road, that same pathway. It's still kind of a winding road. And now you see the destination is an elevated experience, right? I mean, that, to me, this card clearly means ascension. Ascension and evolution. Ascension is another word for it's ascension is actually accelerated evolution. It's a period of dramatically accelerated evolution to a completely different level. Now, you can also see in this picture in the third card, you see a butterfly, which indicates transformation. So as we follow this path through these gates of triumph, as we stay true to who we really are in the most steadfast, clear, and powerful way, we become elevated and we also become protected. That's what these spheres are in this third card. These spheres of protection in ascension, where we go to a much higher level of consciousness. If you want to call it 5D, you can call it 5D. I think personally 5D is almost too limited. I think it's more expanded than that. I think it's a much bigger destination, which maybe includes that, but is also bigger than that. So we don't want to limit ourselves when we think of ascension. We want to go for the gold, so to speak, right? We want to go for the highest possible destination that there is, because that is the destination this entire universe is moving into. So this is just totally amazing to me, this sequence. And where it says your light is shining brightly, it means the closer we get to that destination, the higher our vibration, the more true we are to who we are, because that is the key. The key is being true to who you are. The more your light shines, the more your light shines brightly, okay? So let's just look at all three of these cards together for a moment. I think together the message is about a vision. Because whatever vision we hold in our hearts and minds is really our lighthouse. It's our guiding light. The guiding light comes when you know who you are and you take a stand for who you are. See, the thing about Earth, the thing about this planet, is that most people on this planet, probably all of us have been subjected to this, right? We are told who we are by the outer world. From the day we're born, we're told this is who you are, this is who you are, this is your purpose, this is why you're here, this is what you're supposed to be doing, this is how you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to act. I mean, literally everything is told to us about how we are supposed to conform, obey, and be a certain way. So that whole outer world now is crumbling. Look at what it's telling us to be now. It's telling us to be afraid. It's telling us to be miserable. It's telling us to be locked down, shut down. You all know, I don't have to spell it out, right? Look at what the outer world is telling us to be now. It is so contrary to who we really are. It's not even human anymore. We're actually being told to be something less than human. This is unacceptable. This is absolutely unacceptable. So that's why this card, I feel it's, I know it could sound like answering the call, the time is now, could sound like it's urgent, but it's not urgent because it's outside of time. This is a message to you from beyond the planet, from beyond time and space, from that center point of your infinite self. Answer the call. There's nothing out here in the outer world to wait for anymore. This outer world is a mess. It's falling apart. It's in chaos. There's just craziness everywhere. You're not going to see a sign in the outer world. It's time to answer the call from within. And your heart shows you where the gates of triumph are. The gates of triumph are to be who you are. Now, I want to point something else out about the greatest power that we have. The greatest power that we have is to be that true self, be that light, no matter what. Now, that does not mean that we don't have, what many refer to as a shadow side, we don't have, it doesn't mean we don't have traumas, we don't have all of the stuff, right? Yeah, we have that stuff. It's okay to acknowledge that, but you don't have to be it. You can heal it, you can work through it, but you don't have to be it, you see. And that's the key to your power in healing it. That's the key to your power in transmuting it. When you realize that this is not you, this is simply the effects of being in a very terrible storm called life on planet Earth. Okay, so yes, things happen and we acquire experiences that are very, very negative much of the time. But we don't have to define ourselves by those experiences. And it's important that we don't, because if we think those experiences are who we are, they will drain power from the truth of who we are. They will drain power from our realization. So what we want to do is steadfastly stand centered, clear. Nothing can sway you, nothing can move you, nothing can alter your absolute focus and clarity on who you are, because it is who you are. And then you can look at whatever's happened to you on this planet and you can say, I am who I am. I am a being of light. I am an infinite presence in this universe. And whatever negative energy I have acquired, accumulated in the form of traumas and negative experiences, those are just experiences that have affected my beautiful energy. So I am going to heal them. I am going to transmute them. I am going to work through them and elevate all of my atoms, molecules, energy, systems, all of it, to be a manifesting expression of who I really am. Do you have any idea how powerful that is in this kind of darkness that we are witnessing on this earth right now? That's what is needed here more than anything else. So if you are a person who feels that, well, answering the call sounds great, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what my purpose is here. Some people have a physical purpose that they are very clear about. Others don't. But I'm telling you, there is a higher purpose that is above and beyond all of the physical manifestations. And that is the purpose of being you, the real you, the infinite you that can no longer be manipulated, lied to, controlled. The real you, the power that you are. You are a manifestation of omnipresent love and light. That's what you are. That's what we all are. So we have to be the destination now. We have to manifest within ourselves in terms of who we are. We have to manifest that ascended destination now. We have to be that now in all of this darkness. Okay, so I just want to go through these one final time here. Answering the call, the time is now. You'll notice, oh, one other thing I want to point out in these images, she's going through a gateway that is surrounded by trees, by nature. The trees indicate nature. Her path, if you look through that gateway, you can see her pathway is through nature. The gates of triumph, once again, we see the trees outside of the gates. The pathway is going through nature. There's nothing artificial in these images. So what that means is the natural self, the natural path, all of this is natural. It's not artificial. It's not AI. It's none of that. This is all about nature and the nature and the true design of this entire universe. Because see, here's the thing, you guys, if you're aligned with nature as we understand it on planet Earth, you are also aligned with the nature of the entire universe and the entire cosmos. And that is a very powerful alignment. That puts you as a being back in harmony with the true state of the entire universe, with the true design of the entire universe. And so following that path, staying with that path, I think the message here is stay on the path. Do not leave the path of truth. Do not leave the path of understanding, awakening, and knowing who you really are. Because who you are is already at that destination. See, that's the cool thing. Who we are is already at that destination of ascension, because that is not a time-oriented place. It's transcendent. And that's what we see in that city inside of that sphere that is transcendent, is transformed. We are there. That is who we are. And the vibration of living that and standing from that place is the vibration that this planet needs more than anything else. Because we human beings are creators. We come here to influence the evolution of this earth. We didn't come here just to wake people up. We came here specifically to have a powerful influence on the evolution of this planet. That is the purpose for why we came here. So being who we are as ascended beings, not in time, not in space, not in any of those sorts of modalities, if you will, but in the truth of who we are as infinite beings. That is the vibration that this planet needs. That is, it's kind of like there could not be anything more healing to this earth than to feel humans on this earth that hold that vibration of truth. Because when we hold that vibration of truth within ourselves, we are also holding it for the earth as well. Okay, so very powerful message, really, really outstanding, isn't it? I mean, this is an outstanding sequence of cards, and it's just so clear. So I would suggest that you look at all three cards together as a vision. And I don't mean a vision of something linear, a linear vision that you hold in your mind. It's more a vision of who you are and why you're here, and be that infinite self. Be that person. Do not allow yourself to ever, ever be intimidated by the nonsense that is being thrown at us on this earth every single day. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed that reading. That it was just, wow, just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing to me, this sequence of cards. So at any rate, I'm very much looking forward to seeing you all in the next video. And I'm wishing you all a beautiful week ahead. Please take wonderful care of yourselves. You are sacred. You are important. You matter. Every single person is exceedingly needed right now. And I'm sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.